Connecting with Dave Lester Payne and the Evolution Drive Time every Monday to Thursday, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Observer Radio 91.1 FM.
Thank you kindly, Antigua and Barbuda and the wide world. It's Wednesday midweek, and of course, we're in another session of Connecting with Dave Lester Payne. Wherever you are, we're glad that you've joined us today. And here's hoping your day or your evening, depends on the side, the time zone, is going fine. With me this afternoon is the Honorable Priest Isaac, founder of the Priest Isaac Institute of Holistic Knowledge. And of course, because of Black History Month, I couldn't close off the month and didn't have the priest with me. So today we're going to be looking at African history, our economy, and the youth. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Yes, my brother, I'm fully blessed, and I hope all is well with you.
Well,
and I must say,
I give thanks, because I'm good.
We're definitely in the land of the living. Yes, but of course, as you said, today is a wonderful day to get into this discussion. We're going to have, I'm here for the 2 hours. Definitely just coming over a little under the weather vibration here. So if you hear me, just be, we're in the land of the living.
And these things happen. Before we continue,
yes,
I just want to take time out to say, this morning on the birthday club, 2 individuals called, and one was up on call, and was telling me Sir MacLean's birthday is today. Now, I always have it mixed up with Mr. Ivor Bird and Sir MacLean, So he's not a leap year baby, Sir MacLean.
Okay.
So we say good afternoon to Dr. Sir MacLean Emmanuel. MacLean Emmanuel for his 82nd birthday.
Wow.
And today's his birthday. And for the one lady even walks up and say, I am close to his daughter. She's from 90-something area code. So I know it's his birthday. So I wasn't there. When he was born, I didn't see the birth paper. But I always have him
with Mr. Bird.
With Mr. Ivor Bird, whose birthday is tomorrow.
Tomorrow, and I mean, we have to say blessed Earth Day to Mr. Ivor Bird, because tomorrow's birthday is a special birthday. You know that they come around once every 4 years.
Not every day a birthday. The day
well, I understand. Well, you know that's my philosophy, first of all. But we're speaking on different levels. Remember me, you're scholars.
Yeah. Well, I know what you're speaking about. As far as every 4 years, when the 29th would have come around.
It's his birthday. Remember, I've been around ZDK for a little while, and he's a man
more than a little while.
He likes to celebrate.
Yeah, I know that. I know that.
Slide, you would say maybe about 60 now.
Okay, well, let him celebrate his 16th birthday when the roads are on tomorrow. Yes, but today I'm paying tribute to, of course, Dr. Sir MacLean Emmanuel, and at 4 o'clock this afternoon I'm going to be featuring all
beautiful
those stuff that we can get in an hour. The hits of course, Dr. Sir MacLean Emmanuel. Happy birthday, sir, as we move along in this Black History Month.
Yes, my brother. Well, I think I would have to begin to just give a highlight as it relates to the African History Month essay competition.
Of course.
And I think this is the first, and welcome forward, welcome back. We ain't going back at all. We are going forward, and you were truly missed, as I would have showed you even when you entered into the arena again. So yes, we are, again, for the family, just to remind everyone, this is just a reminder, we have some serious discussions that we want to get into today. So this is just for the introduction of the program, a reminder of the 11th annual essay competition for African History Month that we have been putting on. I'm not going to even go into no details right now. I think everyone knows what's going on. It's just up to us now to react. And if you didn't know, even the conversation we're going to have today will definitely awaken you or reawaken you to the whole aspect of our Afrocentricity. Now remember, parents, the essay competition comes to you every February during the time of what is referred to as Black History Month or African History Month. It has been designed for young ones between the age of from 7 to 17. We have them into 3 different sections: juniors, intermediates, and seniors. Most of the prizes that we would have liked to acquire, well, I wouldn't say it like that, but then again, that's another discussion. But the prizes are usually laptops, tablets, computer classes. All of these are already available. I may not have them for all the different
categories,
like first place, second place, third place, but for sure, the first place of the juniors, their prize will be there. As always, that's like the main thing. That's not, if you want to say, our target. That's not our goal. But if you want to say, hope for the best and expect the worst, that kind of stuff, at least we need a first prize for each of the categories.
Yeah.
Perfect. So first place for the juniors, first place for the intermediates, and first place for the seniors. We also have computer classes that go with the prizes. Veggie World will be giving us a beautiful fruit package, or I think is several packages for the young ones. So we definitely have it in order. And I'm encouraging the parents. I'm encouraging all the guardians. In fact, even if you're not a parent, you know children. You can look out your window and see pick a nigger running up and down the street and say, go home then, and homework, do all of that kind of stuff. Speak to them. Ask them if they want a laptop. I was at the Freeman's Village School, I think it was last week, Thursday or Friday, and I had a wonderful time with the young ones. Beautiful time, my good brother. Give thanks for all the young ones at the Freeman's Village School. And let me just give you a quick story. I had a picture with me. I should have walked with it. It is a picture of the Black Madonna. I brought that already here for you. The Black Madonna and the Black Christ child. And this picture, real black, eh? So I was asking the children, at least, I think we had about maybe 70 of them, who this was. Neither children, teacher, nobody could genuinely answer to say who it was. One child said it was the Buddha. One child said it was Krishna, and I appreciated that. It shows that they're thinking. But I told them, no, this is Mary and Jesus, and man, the place erupted. I'm telling you. And you know, although I was very happy to express this, it was very concerning. I said, wow, this is to show you, because as a psychologist now, and I'm not, when I say I'm a psychologist, I know somebody listening say, wait, when that happened, I'm speaking. I mean, if you study a field, you understand what I'm saying. I've not been to any university. I didn't come back with no degrees and any PhD in psychology, but I can study people. You can study people. You can read people's mind. Anybody over the age of 80 has to be a psychologist. Young picking-nigger field. Children, I like to tell children, don't think you can fool your granny, Not because granny's sitting down in the chair, like if she's sleeping and she looking out the window, or she need, where's her sonny? Granny know everything. You can't fool old people. And you have to become old to realize that, like, hey, so wait, when me little and me feel me, they get to it. Not a thing like that. You understand? So what I'm saying, I'm showing you that the young ones, the surprise that really visited them at this being Jesus and his mother was somewhat shocking too. I expected at least someone to figure it out, because here you have a woman. She obviously looks royal. It's only that she's black, and she has a little baby in her hand and the halo behind his head. So you would expect that, okay, we never saw it like that. But, teacher, is that a black Jesus? Something like that. That didn't even happen. To the point that when I was giving my little presentation, very nice, there's this beautiful little black girl, and she herself, you could see her concern. I'm trying to remember her name. Summer. Her name was Summer. Summer from the Freeman's Village School. Pretty little black girl. And she stopped me in my conversation there. I don't remember what I was talking about. And she said, teacher, I have a question. Yes. The picture you showed us earlier, you sure that is Jesus and his mother? And I had to stop and go back to that. And it just shows you, how serious the indoctrination is.
Miseducation.
And of course, you have at least 100 people listening and say, well, it don't really matter what color Jesus be. Well, it doesn't matter when he becomes black. You see, from you bring him black, you don't even have to open your mouth. Oh, who's that? No, it don't matter. It don't matter what color. But when you bring the other one, that's my Lord and Savior there, and so that's some serious indoctrination going on there. And this is why the essay competition is so important. To get the young
idea to learn.
Tell me.
And of course, go back, study, research.
you as a black person, and of course the beginning.
And exactly, that's where I took them, you know. And of course, we were in Freemansville, so I took a little page out of the Griot book and had to give them an understanding of the importance of Freeman's Village. Many of them actually came from the surrounding villages, you know, All Saints and Liberta, which have their own unique history too. To show, I asked them if anyone knows where Papa Sammy Road is. I think one person put up their hand. I said, oh. But anyway, I had to give them a little quick rundown and everything. But it was a beautiful experience. I should be visiting a few other schools before the month is out. I think we have Kids Unlimited, and some schools, Island Academy even reached out for a hike to go to Green Castle Hill. And many things taking place, you know, Brother Dave. In fact, I misplaced the good brother's name, but the head of museums in Kenya reached out to me a week ago. In fact, we are actually having conversations with him relating to the same essay competition that they would like to incorporate within the educational system within Kenya. Yeah, he's not the education minister, you know, but obviously he enjoys what he sees us do on YouTube, and he wants to incorporate it in what is taking place in Kenya. So family here in Antigua, again, encourage the little ones to partake of the essay competition. You don't have to sign up. You don't have to pay a fee to sign up or to register. No registration fee. You just write it and bring it. That's all. Or you could email it as well. It's only that we have some, I would say, stipulations. You know, I like to see a neat essay.
The writing part
yes.
of it.
You could either write it, handwriting, or you could type it. I don't like to see the essay folded up in those triangular little white envelopes, business envelopes as such. You don't fold my essays at all. So you need to contact me. Visit the website, first of all, priestisaacinstitute.com, or you could email me, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com, or what may be easier for some, call or WhatsApp overseas 1268 728-8289, 728-8289, and I already have prepared for you the rules and regulations, which is nothing hard, a simple thing, how many words, age, and what you need to do to present it properly, where you have to drop it off, all of these different things, you know, it's right there, ready for you without any complications. As although we are still looking to receive some other prizes, you could be assured that every section has top quality prizes.
We take a commercial break. Hey, man. Thanks for staying with us on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. With me, the Honorable Priest Isaac.
Yes, my good brother. Wonderful. So today we're going to be speaking about African history, the economy, and the youth. Basically a two-part program, family. And at the top of the 3 o'clock hour, we will go into the other aspect of this discussion, but we're going to start with the historical aspect of us as African people and our economy. Now I'm going to show you how teamwork works. I like that, how teamwork works. Brother Alistair Thomas, Brother Ewart Isaac. So what I'm going to present now is going to be so easy. You understand? Anybody that has been in class, yeah, trust me, anyone that has been in class, I don't even have to go into detail with certain things. They're supposed to just understand that right away. Oh, yeah, man, you what to say there. Oh, yes. I don't think there's anyone listening to this program that doesn't know who Imhotep is by now.
I heard someone calling on of course, Voice of the People, just before we came on. I was calling that same name. No, you were outside.
Yeah, okay, yes.
Yeah.
Well, so give thanks for the education, my good brother. You are a master student, eh? You know they have master teachers. I think you're a master. Just sitting down here taking that all the time, not just on this level, but you have other illuminated ones that come in here and speak of other subject areas, whether it's banking, whether it's politics, or whether it's infrastructure, whatever it is, you are right here taking it in. You are leaving here every day with a wealth of knowledge. And it's good. You set up your own school. You bring your own teacher. And I like it. Good stuff. Beautiful. I want to begin today by defining a few words for us. I want to begin, first of all, with the word wealth. And let me tell family, well, the whole program, you should have your pen and your pad. But for the second part, at 3 o'clock, you're going to really need to take some notes, because that is when we're going to start to dive into our society and us as individuals and us as a community. Now, wealth. According to the definition of wealth, wealth is an abundance of valuable possessions or money. Again, wealth is an abundance of valuable possessions or money. In fact, the term abundance, although the definition, I didn't have it before me, also goes to abound, comes from the word abound, more than you need. All right. Now, the word economy. The economy is the state, listen good family, the state of a country or region in terms of the production and consumption of goods and services and the supply of money. All right, we hear the word money again. There's another definition for economy: careful management of available resources. Careful management of available, what's there for you to handle, and you handle it properly. Careful management of available resources. That's the economy. All right. Money now. Money is an item or medium of exchange that symbolizes the perceived value. Again, I forget Kemwana, man. Yes, that's another that's another part of the team. Because when we get in the second half, a lot of what he would have even shared with you and the public, that will make a lot of what I have to say easy as well. Give thanks for that. These are the sort of information that are public too, not just the little ones. Even us as big people need to hear. When Brother Kem comes and shows us how to economize and how to invest and these different terms that he uses that some of us need to go into the dictionary and turn the page. We need to be literate when it comes to our economy. So again, money, an item or medium of exchange. You get that, family? An item, anything, it could be a piece of paper, An item or medium of exchange that symbolizes the perceived value. So you're giving me the television, you have something that values whatever the television would cost. Now, I'm not talking of necessarily barter and trade, like an item for an item, The money is an agreed thing, like we all agree that we're going to use cowrie shells. That's what Ghana uses, the currency CD. It really comes, the cowrie shell is what they call the CD, because originally it was the cowrie shell that they used in Ghana and many parts of Africa as a medium, a currency, for exchange. Now, why I'm highlighting that? Because everyone that is alive should be concerned with their wealth, with their prosperity, with their growth, with their economy, and with their money. The finance and the economy and money, they're different things, as you could obviously see how we are breaking this down. Many of us, we have never even heard this sort of conversation, We grew up in a household where the term wealth is not even used. Abundance is not even used. In our household, we hear, well, no, we can't buy that today. How much is that? That is too much. Buy them some gone up again. So when you grow up just hearing that, bam, 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 that's the sort of mentality that you're going to acquire. That's where we're going in the second half. I want to, again, go straight into the African historical aspect of our economy. Now, they have a thing today they call prosperity ministries, or the abundant ministries. I know a lot of people listening are part of that, and the prosperity ministry has its own theology. I may differ a bit from the theology, but I have no problem with a ministry that preaches prosperity. Why should I, when we live on a planet that fully shows us that we are living in an environment that is abundant? That is how the world was created. And even though the planet, we talk about climate change, we talk about mishandling of resources, we are still on a planet where everything, not every person, you know, where everything, every blade of grass, every ant, every butterfly, every human being has enough. Even now, today, with all the forests that they cut down and how they dry up the water sources in different places, this planet, not even the planet, the universe, but let's just deal with this little blue marble here. This planet is abound with all that every living thing still needs. So the planet or the creation was not designed for people or things to be impoverished.
Yeah.
Not necessarily poor. You see, when we say poor, we think we mean we broke. Well, we not money. And to say you're gone down to poor, that's not necessarily what it means. That's where we are. That's where we have reached in this time, 2020 and 4. But that's not how it's supposed to be at all. So I'm saying that when we look into our history, you know, Bob Marley is a big name right now. Well, he's always been a big name, but because of the movie.
Yeah.
Yes, and Bob Marley.
Grossing plenty money.
Yes, I haven't seen. You've seen it yet?
No.
Yeah, right. They say only.
For me to see that, I have to go in the evening.
Yeah.
Or unless you say, or unless I'm seeing it on some channel.
No, I think it's only in theaters now, and
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for it to jump on Amazon or one of them things, and I'll pull it down and watch it.
Okay.
But you know, and gone are the days it seemed like of bootlegging. I don't know. So when you, I guess that comes with them cassettes when you see people walking across the movie and so. Yeah. But when we observe our history, Bob Marley, in the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. And I mean, that's where we are. So if we are impoverished, you know, oh my. So every individual family should be wealthy. Yeah. But what is wealth? I know I just gave a definition there, but as I said, let's look into the reality of this now. We have to go into history. Now, if the planet, the world, was created as a space of abundance, and hear this, good brother Dave, and King Absinet would say David.
You always call me David.
That is something else that makes me laugh every time I hear it. But this is a planet of abundance where, as I said earlier, nothing should be impoverished. We have an abundance of water, trees, fruit, oxygen. Nobody have to go and try to save the oxygen, although they're speaking as if we are coming to that time. All right, good. So where did our civilization fit into all of this? The term I used there a while ago, civilization. So the good brothers and myself will come and say, Africa is the origin of civilization. Okay. Africa is the origin of humanity. Family, we're speaking scholarly today. Those are two different things. Humanity. We're going to start to go into Homo erectus and Australopithecus and these different things. These are the different types of fossils that they would have found in Africa. For example, the Ignish, which has gone back 3.2 million years old. Million years. So I even showed the children at the Newfield School a picture of the Ignish. In fact, I gave one of them the picture. Does anyone know what this is? One child, I must say, in their wisdom said, the bones of a slave. I said, good try. You know, but I explained everything to them. This is a woman 3 million years old. Again, they said, wow. Yeah, but no, she dead. She dead long time. You know, the bones are 3 million. Oh, see, they understand. You know. So I'm showing them now that comes from the study of anthropology, where you study bones and their remains, etc., and some touch of archaeology. Now, that is the age of human civilization. In fact, some scientists will say the real Homo sapiens sapien appeared really about maybe 500,000 years ago, 250,000 years ago. All right, all of that is still good. But civilization now is not people, you know. Civilization is an organized, or civilized society, pardon me, is an organized society that can present to you a script, a culture, a language, mathematics, writing, etc. Now, we all know from our research that all of this began in not only Africa, the Rift Valley and the Nile Valley civilization. And when we say the Nile Valley civilization, we are speaking from the interior of the highlands of Ethiopia, Uganda, Kenya, modern-day Tanzania, going into Sudan and Eritrea, Djibouti, just to name a few countries, and of course, modern-day Egypt, which is also known as Kemet. Now, these areas, not specifically, even Sumer, which is in ancient Iraq, contemporary knowledge would want us to believe that Sumer was the first area where writing began. And this writing is known as the cuneiform script. Now, I have no problem with Sumer. We're talking about 3,200 BC. And you could literally, do your own research. The cuneiform script in Sumer, they speak about the whole theology of Anu. When we talk about Anu, you hear about Anu and Enlil and Enki and these different philosophies. But we can prove that the Meduneta in ancient Kemet, or to roll the tongue as an African, the Meduneter from ancient Kemet, is a much, much older script. In fact, the Sanskrit from India, all of these scripts, or script, that's the script itself, are African. Now, I'm trying to show the family that as far as a civilization, ancient Africa, Ethiopia, Kush, we were the first people to organize a writing system, to organize the paper that you wrote it on, mathematics in general. Now, 75,000 years ago, there was a system in South Africa now, that was established that is called today the Adams calendar. Now you may say, so what's the Adams calendar? Well, some people like to call it the South African Stonehenge. So there's another Stonehenge. And listen to this. This one may have you laughing. They consider that the Adams calendar is the oldest, some people say, the oldest megalithic site in the world. Some scientists correctly say it might be the oldest man-made megalithic site in the world.
Where's the difference?
Because, we have
the real deal.
We have the oldest. I can stand anywhere. All they have to do is come and look, and then any geologist will I don't have to say anything. Just come to Antigua. I carry on the hill and you look around and they say, okay, you're right, priest. I mean, this got to have been here for millions of years. It only makes sense. You're a geologist. This don't grow out of the earth in 75,000 years, not like this. Very good. So this, our Green Castle Hill right here in Antigua, the Stonehenge of the Caribbean, as it is referred to as, is even older than the oldest Stonehenge in South Africa, which is known as the Adams calendar.
And it's man-made.
And it's man-made. But the reason why I brought that up now is it's important because what's the reason for the Adams calendar? According to history, the Adams calendar was used to obviously map the movement of planets and stars, the equinox, the solstices, and then it also was used to, like the McDonald's calendar book, to, planting and harvesting, and these different things. You could say those who control...
There's a guidelines.
A guideline. And they're like climatologists and meteorologists of that time. That's a civilized society. A society that can develop a structure, that can literally manage the observation of the stars and the planets. A society that can develop a monument that's still there up to today, that could highlight the movement of the sun and full moon and eclipse and all of that 75,000 years ago. That's a civilized society. All right, there's a reason why I'm bringing all of this up in the discussion of the economy. Okay, because the reason why I'm saying that, a person may be listening and actually enjoying it and say, hey, good information, but may not be able to see as yet how this is connected to what we may say money. We're not talking about money. We're talking about the economy. That's why we gave the definition earlier so we understand the difference. All right. Now, let us go to the Great Pyramid of Giza. Everyone speaks about the Great Pyramid. They look on the US dollar. You see this pyramid at the back of the eye, with the eye on the top of the pyramid. In God we trust. The Great Pyramid in Giza. The whole complex itself, everyone is familiar with this. Once you look at television, once you look at the National Geographic Channel, even if you have not done an in-depth study of the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt, you have an idea of what I'm speaking of. We're talking about the largest monument up to now on the planet. Considered one of the oldest, some argue that it is older than what it has been dated to be. Now, this Great Pyramid, I'm not going to turn it into a program about the pyramid. We have done a whole program on the pyramid already. I just want to speak about the construction of it. Now, this massive pyramid, and this is just one of three, and plus there are three smaller pyramids to the side of that, and other temples around the complex, plus the Great Sphinx. Everybody know about the Sphinx, Maquette, but they call it the Sphinx, which is a Greek word for monster. Imagine that, cookie monster, cookie Sphinx. So it's not the Sphinx, it's really the Maquette, the Horus of the horizon. So anyway, all of this complex here, this massive complex, which is the seventh wonder of the world. In fact, the pyramid alone is the seventh wonder of the world. I mean, the complex is so massive, you can't even put no number and no wonder to it. Just leave it alone. I'm just trying to show you, the pyramid itself was made with 2.5 million blocks. 2.5 million blocks, which were taken from a quarry site a couple miles away. And then at the same time now, these blocks, according to the weight, between 10 and 100 tons. And the pyramid was, established in such a way. I mean, it's still standing today. The fact that it's there, that alone is big business. But the point
Marvelous work.
Marvelous work. The point I'm making is that you had to have had a strong economy to even think about building something like that. And it's not just that's there. There's three pyramids, all of them extremely magnificent. I mean, the engineering skill, the astronomical alignment with all of these stars that align with some little holes inside of these massive structures. You had to have an intelligent society that had control of the economy. What's the economy, people? Boy, them man me have plenty money. Hold on, no, you're not listening good. The economy is the state of a country or region in terms of production and consumption of goods and services
that are available.
Oh, give thanks. Now, that carries us back to wealth. Wealth says an abundance of valuable possessions. Let me leave out the money part. But the earth, again, is an abundance of valuable possession. So the point I'm making here, what was taking place is that we had a civilization, I'm talking about stretching thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years. I don't mean just in Egypt, Africa in general, where we were harnessing what you would say the nature then. There's
utilizing Mother Nature.
Mother Nature. There's a term, but I'll get to it. But free energy. The earth has an abundance of free energy. You see like how them lock our people light and say, boy, pay a light bill and all that. That is criminal, Oh my. Nikola Tesla. I think, was it your program? Someone was trying to remember the name of the individual who created the machine to harness electricity from the atmosphere so no one in the world had to pay a light bill again. Now, can you imagine? J.P. Morgan was financing Nikola Tesla, the famous Tesla. You hear about Tesla cars and so on, battery and so. The name comes from a specific man who was a genius who understood how to harness electricity from nothing as such. And J.P. Morgan, who was one of his biggest supporters, when he realized that, but wait, we obviously poor people have a pen on you crazy. And copper is what I invested in. And he stopped financing Tesla. Tesla went out in, you know, how it usually happens, in disgrace as such, depending on how society would brand him. But it's deeper than Tesla, my brother. There's a movie. Let me put a little plug here. There's a movie by the name of Thrive. I have no connection with the people that make the movie, but it's good to share knowledge. In this movie, Thrive 1, in fact, Thrive 1 was banned from the YouTube. Nothing wrong with the video, you know. No bad words, nobody cursing, just a bunch of white people talking nice and yoga and let's live together. Yeah, nice movie. But what they were saying in the movie is that you ain't got to pay no electrical bill, you know. They're showing you the amount of scientists that created machines, you know, different apparatuses for you to, again, harness, right, the electricity from, you know, nature. They have neither killed, some of them kidnapped, some of them gone missing, some of them gone into obscurity where their labs and everything have been burnt down. Why? Because there is a handful of people on this planet who thrive themselves off of the majority of the planet being impoverished and bringing a little 10 cents and 5 cents and $5 to pay the little light bill and the one bulb in their house so that these other people can continue to live rich when nobody has to do that because the earth wasn't created for that. So when you hear us showing you in ancient Kemet, you see like 5,000 years BC, you see the brothers in the temple with the bulb and the filament, but the filament it looks like a snake. I think we would have showed some of these pictures already, showing you that thousands of years ago we knew how to harness the energy from the earth and create light. You're gonna tell us we can build a pyramid like that? Man, when we enter grammar school, they have this experiment where you put a little wire around a nail and something and you put some battery, some bulb light up. If we can do that, you mean to say without APOA we couldn't light a room? No, man, we had that intelligence a long time ago. But it so happens now that in this modern day time, that has been killed, and someone trying to resurrect that, they're going to be a threat because they are disrupting the foundation of this capitalistic world. Very important. All right. Now, where were we before I jumped that far? So I'm just trying to show the family really that civilization in general has to do with infrastructure. The pyramids are infrastructure. Has to do with education. That's why all the Greeks, philosophers, as Brother Alistair and Brother Ewart will always speak of, had to come down to Africa to sit at the feet of the great ones. Thales, Brother Alistair liked to pull out Thales, the father of history. That's why they say when you're lying, you're telling tales, you know. Don't give me no fairy tale, you know. It's fairy tales, it's tales, because his history is his story he giving to you, you know. But we have the real knowledge and information. Now, this is why when they came into Africa, you would always hear, not when they came in really, but you would always hear our scholars speak about, you know, in Africa we never had any word for poor. We never had any word for rape. We never had any word for lying. You man,
We have no word for prison.
No word for prison. No, people, when they hear that, it's just like when you show the little children them the picture
Of the black.
of the black and right. It's like
gotta take a commercial
sound good
break.
to me. Yes.
It's Isaac, founder of the Priest Isaac Institute of Holistic Knowledge. Today we're dealing with African history, our economy, and the youth.
Yes, my brother. And I was just speaking of, you know, when we check our history, we understand there's certain things that seem to be missing from African history that we have now. Like, as you said, prison and poverty and these different things, and people don't believe. But just give me a moment. I will dovetail back to that or forward to that. But just before I even get to that, to somewhat reinforce in the mind of the listeners, because I know sometimes I might be moving a bit fast. And I just want a clarity here. I'm showing us again in a somewhat of a summary, a quick summary before I move on, that the universe was not created for any aspect of the universe to be lacking anything. That's it. That's it. No tiger lack days to eat. The day them just not even know days. Oh my. Them English teacher there. What? Okay. Day to eat. The day don't lack grass to eat. Whatever go on the day and pick the insect off of the day, whatever the insect get when he go on the day, all these things there. Everything, everyone happy. But now, in the human civilization, I almost took back that word, because it has become very uncivilized, we now have a system, a capitalistic system, where you have the filthy rich, people that don't even know what to do with what they have, throwing it away, and then people that are dirt poor. Now, this is interesting, how it reached to that. You may say, well, you have to work hard for what you... Now, the man that is dirt poor, you might say, outside of Antigua, they have places in the world where you could walk for miles and you wouldn't see a tree. All you see is big buildings and taxi cars passing you and train, boom, 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 boom. So even the whole structure of the earth is different from how it was created. Now, I'm trying to show the family, that our African history shows us a series of governments. If it's one thing we can say about our African history, we have a series of governments in different empires, kingdoms, dynasties, over millennia within the space of history that shows us thriving. This is why if you read in the book of Esther in the Bible, it speaks about the kingdom of Ethiopia going as far as to India. All right, that's the Bible. Where does history prove that? The history shows that in the kingdom of Aksum. Aksum is the kingdom in northern Ethiopia, Eritrea area. And the kingdom of Aksum, of the legendary Queen of Sheba who visited King Solomon. But there's much more history to Aksum than just that. You have the first king of Aksum known as Zoskales. You have the famous port of Aksum, Adolis, which is revered up to today in Islamic history. This is where you have the first level of serious trade between Africa and Arabia. In fact, that is how the kingdom of Saba or Sheba went as far as into Arabia, to the point where India was referred to as Western Ethiopia, Eastern Ethiopia, pardon me. And that is just to show you how we spread across the world. Again, Brother Isaac would speak about the visit of not Mansa Musa, the great, rich, most wealthiest person ever, Mansa Musa, but his predecessor, Abu Bakari, Mansa himself. Mansa means king, and he would have had his tradition where he came to the Western world. You understand? In fact, for those of us in the Virgin Islands listening, I'm sure you know the history in St. Thomas. That's how they say it, in St. Thomas. Yeah. In St. Thomas, they found 2 skulls in 1974 that dated at least 800 years before the visit of Columbus. And the Smithsonian Institution said that these skulls were Negroid, in their depiction. So that just proves that black people were over here. St. Thomas the Vine, St. Thomas. Okay. not no Africa thing I tell you. In St. Thomas, I spent several months in St. Thomas schooling out. In Hull Bay. Okay. And they found 2 skulls, elongated skulls. 1250 AD. That's when they were dated by the Institute Smithsonian. And that's several hundred years before Columbus. So that is to show you now that we as African, I don't mind with Columbus and them fellas there, This is another thing. You see, we admire, because when we watch the movies and we read the storybooks, somehow psychologically we get beaten again because we see the Europeans coming into Africa. Them fellas well clothed, they're well pinned up, well covered, boots, nice, whatever, some of them have on tights. Where they get them clothes from? Who teach them to dress? That's why I said the work is easy today. Brother Ewart would explain to you how the Moors would have gone up into Europe, not up into Europe, gone down into Europe. You see, the map confused it too, you know. See, all of that, the part of the plot, make it look like Europe above Africa. Believe me, space don't have no up and down, you know. Where on the earth is up and down. If you go to China now, where you calling up now becomes down, because it's on the other side of the world. So it's not really up and down. So the point I'm making is that you, on a map, it makes it look as if Africa is smaller than all of these other continents. But when you look on the ancient map, it's as if Africa covering one side of the globe by itself. You have to turn the globe to see Europe. You have to turn the globe to look at Australia underneath because of the size of Africa. So now, when the Moors went down into Europe, remember the Moors civilized Spain, France, Cordoba. They created street lights, the toilet system or the sewage system. According to history, the cleanest woman in Europe was Elizabeth I, and she washed her skin once a year. You know, there was a time I just couldn't believe that, you know. I mean, I'm very, for lack of a better term, I'm very romantic with my African vibes, you know, but I mean, come on.
Once a year?
That's impossible, you know what I mean? But all of the great scholars say that. Dr. Ben said that, Dr. Clark said that, Vance Fatima said that, I read that in How Much History book. I said, something can really go so. And she's the cleanest, you know.
Wow.
It's not just that she bathed once a year, you know, that's bad enough, you know.
She's the cleanest.
So they say. I mean, listen, I hope that's not so. Let me put it that way and leave it at that. But anyway, whether that's the exact case or it has been stretched a bit, I mean, I don't know how far you can stretch that. But the point is, we were the ones that came and brought hygiene. When it comes to surgery and the first cataract surgery and all of these things, is the Africans that brought that to them. How interesting it is that the same time that Ferdinand and Isabella kicked out the Israelites and the Moors was the same year that Christopher Columbus and many others sailed out. Yeah, because they lost the source of their liberty. You know, it was us who came to them 700 years before that and brought civilization to them. That's why they had on clothes. That's why they appeared to some to be somewhat civilized when they came and attacked those in Africa. This is serious. We have to know how to not to be confused with this reverse psychology that history tends to give us at times. Just quickly, as far as money, the oldest coinage that you would find in Ethiopia is the coinage of King Endubis, and he was in 270 AD. And then you have the coinage of King Izana. Anyone can go on the internet and look up King Izana and his coinage, and these are considered the oldest coins, money in Africa. Now, hear this good. Again, you have to understand history. The concept of using metal and silver and gold and even cowrie shell as a medium of exchange has been taking place before 270 AD. In fact, according to history again, the first minted coins, this is debatable, came from Persia. But again, you have to consider that the Persians were learning all of these techniques from us. And even when you observe all the other coins older than the Ethiopian coins, they're all bent up and they look very off. The Ethiopian coins, to me, appears to be the first circumference coins that existed in history. Beautiful coins with King Izana. In fact, you have the coinage of King Izana when he had the moon above his head, which is symbolic of Ethiopia before they came Christian, because King Izana was the king that accepted Christianity in the 4th century AD, pardon me, according to history. And then you see the other coins in his latter reign where the moon was replaced by the cross to show that he would have made
the Christianity.
Right, that change. So, you know, family, as we have just a few minutes in this hour, the reason why I had to bring this to the table is so that we understand. Again, those who may be just joining, We're talking about African history, the economy, and the youth. We come into all of that now. And, you know, I was going into, before the break, I was showing the family that the terms that we have today, some of these terms did not exist in Africa, like poverty. For example, Libya, Uganda. Let me talk about Uganda first. Not just Uganda, Idi Amin. Oh, God, I know that. Yeah, me says so, Idi Amin. If you have been brain scrubbed, that's your business. I have done my research. France defrated us right here. I was so glad when I heard him say, he has been to Uganda. And none of the African countries, this is France defrators, none of the African countries can compare. I said, yeah. The streets, the infrastructure, the economy that was left by Idi Amin. France went on to say, yeah, Idi Amin killed plenty of people. I'll leave that talk for another time. But the point is that John Snow, one of the more famous European reporters of the time, went to Uganda. We have it on video, and he said that he was surprised that this was the country that British newsreel has always been reporting of. According to him, there was no poverty in the streets. This was during the time of Idi Amin, the great tyrant that have people head in the refrigerator. Time magazine say, why should I trust Time magazine? But anyway, we need to do a program on Idi Amin, you know, my lord. So we can get this thing straight. I don't care how much people hate me. That's the business.
Why would they hate you? Because the Idi Amin story, of course, was, I mean, living in North America, and you figure, well, this fella's a monster. There is nothing positive about Uganda and Idi Amin. Nothing. Nowhere.
That's before 1970. That's after 1972. What happened? Idi Amin had a meeting with the British High Commission, and he told the British High Commission, look, I just took over this country 2 years ago. Me and the Queen are friends, because the Queen loved him. Golda Meir loved him. There was nothing wrong with Idi Amin. But Idi Amin said, hey, listen, you have about 60,000 Indians and Pakistanians here, and some Jewish people. I want them to leave in 90 days so I can get my economy straight. Oh, Tal!
That's where everything erupted.
That was it. Yeah, and all of us.
Because he demanded that they leave.
And the economy of Uganda thrived.
Yeah.
Now, a person may have done their history and have their own little whatever. I mean, he's a human being. But the level of propaganda that they douse on him, mercy. And again, him.
They had to go for him, you know.
They had to, man.
They had to take him out.
Colonel Gaddafi, too. Next example.
No, that's a fine brother.
So, and we're talking, oh, well, he fine at the end of his life, you know. When I was growing up, Colonel Gaddafi wasn't no fine. No. Not at all. Not even around here. It's now I hear people here trying to defend him. But I know these same people wasn't really defending him.
At the time.
At the Lockerbie bombing and all of that kind of thing. You know, they tried to kill him about 16 times. But his country now, Gaddafi, I think...
Ambassador Bruce Goodwin would have given us the storyline, because he would have met him. So the point I'm making now, that is an example of the type of governance we had centuries and millennia before the enslavement period. Believe me, you know, it is the transatlantic slave trade. This is what's going to carry us into the next hour. It is the transatlantic slave trade. This is going to hit you. Plus emancipation. I'm going to explain all of that. And other things that brought poverty upon the black nation. Top of the hour.